All right. Hello, everybody. Before I get started, I just want to kind of get a little bit of a poll from the audience. Go ahead and raise your hand to see, do you feel like you're worthy? Go ahead and raise your hand. All right. Keep your hands raised. Keep your hands raised. Now, with your hand raised, look around you. Take a look at your neighbor. It's okay. They don't bite. They don't bite. Just make sure. But now, think about it. In the time that you raised your hand, were you raising your hand all the way up? Think about it. Maybe you didn't feel completely worthy, but that's okay. I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story about someone who didn't feel like they were completely worthy and how college at Monterey completely changed their life. When I was 14 years old, I thought college was completely pointless. I thought it was too expensive. I thought it was tedious. And I thought it was something I could never accomplish. I'd always put myself down and think that I wasn't unique, nor was I worthy of even being anywhere remotely near a college. And my parents had some experience going to college. My mom attended a community college, and my dad attended a mechanic training school. And growing up, my parents pushed the idea of attending college to my brothers and I. And being the oldest, I had to be that role model for them. So come middle school, I meet my instructor for what's known as the AVID program. So for those in the audience who might not know exactly what the AVID program is, it's basically designed to help students who are who want to get involved in college, help them every step along the way, from middle school to high school. I would be learning about taking the SAT exam, preparing myself through Cornell notes for studying, and one of my favorite parts, going on college field trips. And as I noticed, throughout time, my grades would slowly start to improve. And what's interesting about this is that I started to feel so much more confident because of this, because it made me realize that it could possibly have a big effect on the responses that I'd have from my college applications. And up until my high school graduation, I'd always be told from the AVID program and from people I meet in general how much of a difference having a bachelor's degree would be over having just a regular high school diploma. And I remember getting that first college letter back in the mail. I was mixed with so many different emotions, and I was so eager to open it up. So I raced back inside my house, and I grabbed the letter opener. I opened it up. I was rejected. And I felt this wave of failure overcome me. Like, is this who I am? Is this what all this hard work meant to be? And it didn't change until my dad came over to me and told me that this is just one letter. There's so many schools that you apply to. And I took that perspective with me. And from that point on, I got acceptance letter after acceptance letter after acceptance letter, until one school came across my mind, Cal State Monterey Bay. Monterey already had a close place in my heart. My family would take my brothers and I along there ever since we were growing up. We'd drive along Highway 1, we'd go to the aquarium, and we had a picnic at Pacific Grove. I mean, you can't go wrong. A picnic at Pacific Grove, the views, God. But I knew this was a place that I was going to grow and I was going to expand. And without even listening to any other college responses, I had not gotten anything back in the mail from any other college. Monterey was the next one after that rejection. I immediately put my enrollment fee down for Monterey. So I was excited to learn about all the orientation events that were going to be happening. So come the summer of 2019, I'm at Monterey Bay, and I am here for orientation. But instead of feeling nervous, instead of feeling excited and ready to be starting the next chapter of my life, I felt nervous. And I felt lost. Like, I don't belong here. There's people with honors that are higher than mine. And I realized I graduated high school. I graduated high school with an honorable distinction. I got a passion for my scholarship. I got a passion for filmmaking and got a scholarship for it. So I realized that I had a purpose of being there. So after hearing some speeches from school officials, I met my orientation leader, who was a cinematic arts major who had already been studying at the school for a little over a year. And I honestly thought, they're older, they're wiser. Why would they want to talk to me? They're just going to show me around the campus? That's the end of that. But it wasn't until they started talking to me that I started to realize how much of a connection that I would eventually build with these students. And I talked to them about what I wanted to be, who I wanted to go into for my future career. So I felt like I was at home. So come August 26th of 2019, first day of school. It was also my 18th birthday. So my present was getting an essay at 8 in the morning. So you can imagine how fun that was. I felt again that I wasn't ready, that I didn't belong. I felt almost an imposter syndrome, that I didn't belong among these people that still had these higher grades than I did and were achieving more than I ever would in my first year. And this kind of perspective stuck with me for a while. And I made a group of friends. I attended socials around the campus, but something was still missing. I hadn't applied for any clubs or applied for any jobs until I found this graphic design position. And I finally applied for this graphic design position in the spring of 2020. And I'm sure we all know how the spring of 2020 rolled out for us. So, come spring of 2020, I'm sitting in my classroom, just nothing, average ordinary day. And I get this email from the president's office saying that we're going to be going home. We're going to go to something called virtual instruction. So I'm thinking to myself, hey, we get another week of spring break. All right. Yeah, try another year and a half of spring break. So my parents have me move everything out of my dorm and come back home. I didn't get the chance to say goodbye to my roommate, nor did I get the chance to say goodbye to my friends. And, even though I was at home with my family, I still felt alone. And like I didn't have anybody outside of my family to talk to in person. And I learned that we'd be continuing this form of instruction for the next coming school year. And I thought to myself, I have to get involved. I have to get myself at least feel worthy, feel something to do in any sort of way. So coming that following year, I became an orientation leader. I finally got that job with the recreation department. And I finally got to be admitted into the school's honor society. And feeling busy made me feel worthy again. I felt like I was able to talk to people, even though it was remote. I felt like I was able to talk to people again and feel this sense of worthiness. These people that I was talking to, they were in the same place as I was. They were feeling lost, disconnected, and they just needed somebody to talk to outside of their households. And that was our opportunity just to at least make ourselves feel connected, at least for some time. So come fall of 2021, we're back on campus. Everybody's happy. I'm sure we were all excited and we were feeling nervous. To be honest, for me at least, I thought I'd be sitting in class one day and out of habit, be sitting, get asked a question, and for some reason, look for the unmute button. That was probably just me, but I felt so much happier being in person, being able to see people face to face, being able to have that connection. And it made me realize something about myself, is that I had the potential to do anything I wanted, so long as I put my mind to it. And that's just it. worthiness. It's not something we can receive from others. Rather, it's something we have to teach ourselves. The imposter syndrome is a real problem, where we put ourselves in this place where we think we don't belong among others and that we don't have a purpose being in a situation where we truly do. And we have to stop thinking about this negative thought in our minds. So, when you get that job denial, when you get that grade you didn't want, or you get that rejection letter, don't let that define you. You can do anything you want if you put your mind to it. So when you leave here today, think about where you are in life today. Whether you're applying for a job, you're pursuing a degree, or you're looking to make a new relationship. I mean, you got the chance to feel worthy and take a look at the person next to you. It all just starts with you telling yourself, I am worthy. Thank you.